Do you know how many consecutive tournaments Byron Nelson won? And in addition, how many tournaments he won in the year 1945?
I mean, I feel like some of those stats, even for Tiger, are actually pretty small. Since you asked it, I'm gonna go like 5, which sounds ridiculous. I mean, 5 would be insane. And then
Five is insane. Oh, go keep going.
yeah, and then I'll go. I don't know. I'll go 12 tournaments in that year.
I think those are pretty good guesses, but this is going to blow your mind. Although he won several tournaments in his short career, 1945, he won 11 consecutive tournaments and 18 total tournaments in the year 1945, which is just absolutely incredible and is a stat that I had never really heard of before, but makes him one of the more incredible golfers.
I can't even imagine what second is, which is crazy.
I think actually Ben Hogan might be second. I could be wrong about that,
Wow, that's
but I just
unbelievable.
think that's an amazing stat.
Yeah, I mean, and also I wonder what the total amount of tournaments was. I mean, that has to be almost every third tournament. Wow,
Yeah, at least.
crazy, crazy. I mean, obviously, maybe you could argue the competition got stronger, but I mean, and even compared to years, like 2001 Tiger, he didn't sniff that, so that's crazy.
A local municipal golf course says it's been overrun by what some are calling, quote, hack golfers.
Has the game grown too much? Do we need more scratch golfers? I'm telling you, hacks slow the game down. You can't grow golf if people are chunking it into the weeds all day.
Scratch player?
Hey everybody, it's Dez and welcome back to the Hack and Scratch podcast, episode number 17. Excited to be back. We just finished off a major. How are you doing, Casey?
I'm doing great. Thought it was a very entertaining PGA championship. It's really nice to not really see one person run away with it. Instead, we didn't know till the last couple holes who was going to take it away. So really fun tournament to watch.
Were you surprised how much flack the players were giving about the bunched leaderboard?
I was surprised because in my mind, I think that is what makes a really high quality tournament. When the conditions are so difficult that everyone needs to be on their A game just to hang in there, I thought it was strange that it was getting so much negative attention and having too many people there. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say, the one I really like Scotty's comments about the pin placements are just being so difficult. I don't mind that. It was probably true. Rory's comment probably bothered me the most of like a or a good setup requires someone to or a couple people to pull away with it. And I'm just like, you know what? If everyone was scoring very similarly, like if everyone was in a tight range of like, +3 to -3 every day, then yeah, I would agree that there's something wrong with the setup there in the fact that it doesn't allow for players to go after things. They have to play conservatively, that kind of style. But the fact that people were shooting 63, 64, 65s, and then you had people blowing up with plus, I mean, there's a big enough range there where you could have separated yourself. It's just no one played consistent golf. And so I don't know. I found that very odd. And, I don't know. Rory upsets probably everyone at some point. But yeah, I don't know. I was surprised.
Yeah, and now is your turn to be upset by him because I don't think we are too often. I'm a big fan of Rory, but at the same time, like, yeah, I think this is what makes the tournament great. Course is really difficult, and that's why there were so many people kind of in the same range. But overall, I thought it was a great tournament to watch. I love when it's that close because then you really get to see hole by hole how things change. Fortunately for Alex Smalley, it was I think on like 14 or something like that, where he just sculled a chip over the green, then ended up double bogeying. I'm like, dang, it's going to be hard to climb back from. But overall, seeing Aaron Rai take it away with that incredibly long putt, it was like 70 or 80 feet. That was incredible. And I'm so stoked for him. He's been one of my favorite golfers for years now. And I just think you heard all the commentary. Everybody loves this guy and they all know how hard he works. And it's paid off. He just won the PGA. So really cool stuff.
Yeah, he's a true professional. A lot of the stories that were coming out were great. I wish we even got more of them. It's funny. I put a sizable bet on Scotty at the beginning of the week. So after day one, I am feeling wonderful. And then Rom got to such a high number with his bad start that I was like, you know what? I thought he'd do well this tournament. I'll put something on him for like a ridiculous number. And of course, Scotty starts breaking down. That never becomes live again. And then Rom gets in the mix and just misses on Sunday. So despite that, which was very disheartening for me on my wallet standpoint, I found myself rooting for Rye just as much as anyone. I just thought it was so cool how he rose to the occasion. I mean, you talked to me and you texted me, who the hell's hitting an M8 364? I mean, he must have been juiced. I mean, it must have been, even though he seems cool, calm, and collected, he must have been juiced out there to just stripe it. And he was infallible. I mean, there was not a single weak part of his game on Sunday. It was unbelievable to watch. One of the more dominant Sundays I think I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and especially that back nine. I mean, he was just lights out. The driver goes to show that you don't need new clubs, you know? And
our future sponsors don't want you saying that, but yeah.
I know. You absolutely need new clubs. But
What'd
for
you
me,
say? It
I'm
was
like,
from
dang, I kind of
2019?
want to. Yeah, that's a 2019 club.
That's
And
unbelievable. Rory,
it's
go back to your
amazing. And
M2. You got it.
exactly. Like, it makes me want to go back to my Sim or my Sim 2, which I'm actually strongly considering after this week, because I'm like, yeah, they haven't made those great strides in technology in the past 6 years. Like,
Sure.
those clubs are still doing well. So I don't know. Really cool. I loved all the attention that his gloves and his iron covers got. I think it was PJ Superstore today posted like
Nice.
before and after. And like the black gloves were in stock and they were cleared out or something. Like, that's so good. And, like, I remember when he first came onto the scene and people were like, iron covers and gloves. And I'm like, God, are we really going to do this again? Because I was the same way growing up. My parents were like, hey, we're not just buying you $1,000 set of clubs just for you to knock around. You have to take care of them. So I had a set of iron covers as well. So did most of my high school golf team. So I'm glad that it's getting finally the positive publicity that it should. Because you saw his interviews. He's just such a good dude.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of interviews from like the past years, and I'm like, this guy is just incredible stand-up golfer. And yeah, I'm really happy to see him win.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. Silences all the haters when you go, well, we couldn't really afford nice things growing up, so I thought I would take care of them. And everyone's like, okay, maybe I'll not talk about the iron covers. I will still give him flack. Tommy Two Gloves is insane. In what world?
That's bold.
Do you need that? He has two of the biggest cardinal sins of all golfing: iron covers and two gloves, and yet we still love him. So that's a testament to his person. But yeah, it was fantastic tournament, great champion. I always get kind of excited when a slightly random golfer, I mean, not even random, the longest shot to ever, I think, win the PGA championship, which is crazy. So good on him. It gets him into all the majors for like the next 5 years. It's just a crazy
Love
list.
that.
Like, you look at the list that he now gets to play in the venues, it's unbelievable. I kind of lose sight of that when you look at the big price tag of 3.6 million, but what you get to establish for your career for the next 5 years is remarkable. Kurt Kitayama, I'll just throw that out there. Unbelievable Sunday. I placed a top 10 bet on Kurt Kitayama going into the week. The best backdoor ever. Made it by one stroke. Had to shoot a 7 under on the final day to do it, and he did it for me. So shout out to Kurt Kitayama.
That's awesome.
Huge comeback there. But honestly, Wanamaker was great. I hope they return, sometime in the next 10 years. And I think it was a great course, despite some of the flack it got.
Yeah. I honestly, when I was watching it all this weekend, I'm like, I want to play there. Something about it, like, I just want to play it, me personally. It seems interesting.
Has a low-key great scene right now. And I think it's being highlighted the past couple of years. And I've never said this. I never thought I would say this, but Philly golf trip sounds pretty good.
Let's do it. I'm down.
I know. All right. Any last thoughts on PGA Championship before we move on?
No, other than Aaron Rye, this is not the last we're going to see of him. I could see him continuing to do very well because he has a very similar, I would say even better mindset and headspace than Scotty Scheffler.
Wow. Hot.
That is, I know, but that is the reason Scotty is so good, is because he has an incredible mental game as well. I think Aaron Rye's is even better. You don't see him get super worked up, super pissed off and angry in the way that maybe Scotty does sometimes. He's extremely humble, and I think it's the same as Scotty, where like life comes first, golf is second. But I think that mindset helps you win tournaments.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talk about all the time the hangover after you win. This is a guy who I don't think you'll see any hangover. I think he very
No.
much could win this week, which is crazy.
Yep. Him and his wife I think we're going to go to Chipotle for dinner after, is what he said.
Sounds
She's
good.
also a professional golfer,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
So yeah, I don't know. It seems crazy, but yeah, this could just be the start of something pretty amazing. I mean, you saw what it's done for Rory in just the last 18 months, getting that first Masters win. Sky's the limit. There's no reason you can't tell yourself if you're Aaron Rai, you can't win the big tournaments anymore. It
Yep.
could be really, really good for him. Yeah. Lot to come. YouTube Golf took a little bit of a hiatus this week. I think it's smart that they do kind of down weeks during the major weeks and big professional golfing weeks. So there wasn't too much to talk about. We did get another hater series with Joey. I know you watched it today. All around thoughts.
Terrible golf by
It's painful.
both gentlemen. I would say Joey played better than I kind of thought he would, maybe. But what was the guy's name? AJ?
Yeah.
He was punching way above his, I don't know what the term is, but he was trying way too hard, and he just did not have the game to back it up.
Do you think that we are getting people that lie about their handicap, or there is just that dramatic of effect of a person who doesn't play in front of cameras every week, doesn't play in front of an audience, all of a sudden getting out there knowing that if they play horribly, it's going to be all over the internet. All their friends are going to razz them about it. What's happening here? Because clearly, I mean, I can't remember what he said he was, but he's playing like a plus 25 handicap. Or not plus, but 25
I
handicap.
thought I heard Perez say something like 10 to 15 range, and I was like, no.
Oh.
And I do think he's lying about his handicap, because a lot of people do, but he never said things like, I just don't have my game today or whatever. It just seemed like every shot was like, yeah, I expected that. I'm like, okay, man, well,
Yeah.
I don't think you're as competitive here. But I think the funniest thing about the episode for me was that Perez and Bob looked just very uninterested in the whole thing.
Well,
Just because I think
it's on
they saw
Bob.
the writing on
It's
the walls.
completely on Bob because he does the vetting. The
Yeah.
fact that he wasn't able to detect that this guy wouldn't, that was another annoying thing. He wasn't a hater. There was not a single bone in his body that hated Joey.
No.
And you could he was not, he brought them like jerseys and stuff, and I mean, it just really nice guy. So
Yeah.
it's just bad on Bob for the vetting process. I know he takes pride in that, and it takes him a long time, but he did not sniff that out properly.
Yeah.
And so they got to get a little bit better and tighter at this.
But I'm not surprised that people that are keyboard warriors and try to like position themselves to be on these
Sure.
series are doing probably a pretty good job at lying just so that they can get on. So it's like that's a hard job for Bob to actually know who's going to be good,
Yeah,
because this is him now as creative director, not golfer.
for sure. I saw a lot of the comments were actually, hey, like this is run its course, let's flip it and start golfing with a couple fans every once in a while. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that is kind of what we need, a good little balance.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a tough watch. I think the funniest thing with Joey's golf is like, obviously these are like pillow fight rounds, and the guy will be 2 OB already on the hole, and all Joey really needs to, I mean, no pressure at all on Joey, just needs to lay it up there and he'll just cold shank one hard out of nowhere, hit a decent drive, have all pressure gone, AJ's in the woods, just cold shanks one. It's so interesting. I don't know. I'm talking all this crap, and I'm gonna go play golf tomorrow, and I'm probably gonna blow up myself and look like Joey, but it just doesn't make sense.
Well, only one way to find out is if you and I go and join on their next one.
That's
So
right. Yeah, when
we'll-
they start
we'll-
doing
we'll do
fans,
it.
we'll apply.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I did start the Brian Bros and D'Angelo Russell, the D-Lo video. I think it's fantastic. I've said this before on the podcast, but there is just a different level of mindset, training, whatever you want to call it, mental state of professional athletes and how they view things. And D'Angelo Russell being an all-star in the NBA and just what he's seen and who he's played with. I mean, he's played with some remarkable players, and he's a great player himself, but it's just a mindset thing. It's just, I know if I was given like the craziest gifts in this world, I don't think I could really achieve that level um, of athletic performance because the mental state is just a different thing, and it's phenomenal to hear stories about and talk about. And it really kind of converted me on like this like guest playing kind of interview style golf where they do have these people. And honestly, Bryson's channel was really good for that as well when he would bring on some high profile people and talk to them during the round. But yeah, I think it's great. And I think the back nine is going to be posted later this week, but I'm looking forward to it. He seems like a really great guy. They got LeBron on the phone midway through the round, and Brian Bros were kind of awestruck, and I think that was the first time they talked to Braun on the phone. And he's inviting them out, and they want to play, and it's funny watching those kind of two worlds collide. But really cool stuff.
Golf is a universal game. People pick it up at different parts of their lives, and we're just going to see more of those athletes jumping on and getting to play. I mean, yeah, it's just super cool. I love it. That's growing the game, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, that wraps it up for a quick YouTube rundown. We do have some professional golf to talk about. We are rallying to TPC Craig Ranch for the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. This has been an interesting course over the years. The comparable courses are kind of the Donta Vallarta, which is that one played down in Mexico that usually gets kind of an interesting winner. It was like, I think it was Pot Geeter and Brian Campbell or someone a couple of years ago dueling it out. So that TPC Scottsdale. So again, kind of different with Waste Management, but all around good course. It's playing probably at around 7,300 yards this week, par 71. There is water, I think, on 13 holes, so a decent amount of trouble. Yeah, overall, nothing really pops as far as stat correlation. Got to hit it well off the tee. Distance isn't that significant here. It's really about the approach angles in, and so yeah, it's going to be an interesting dog fight. There is some class talent. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler's here. Aaron Wright coming off his big win. Jordan decided to sign up for this, and then Brooks as well. But then you have a whole cast of characters that are dying for a good win. And, despite Scotty winning it last year, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like the winner's probably going to come from outside maybe the top 10 favorites. So what do you see this week?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on kind of the approach is going to be very important, but I also think distance is really important here as well. There's one par 5 that I was looking at today. It's like 640 yards, and that's not reachable by a lot of people, obviously. And so those guys that on those type of holes that can get the advantage of maybe getting their third shot closer, they're going to have the upper hand having these lower approach distances. So I've picked a lot of guys that are going to be good off the tee. So one of those is Brooks Koepka. I think we've seen him trending in the right direction. He did have a missed cut or two here and there, but it's good to see
that putter around. I mean, his game is pretty solid outside the putter.
Well, and that leads me to my next person, Jordan Spieth. Like, if he can get the putter going too, he's unstoppable. And that's, I think, what kind of destroyed him this past weekend.
35 feet of putt on the first day. It's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. But we have been seeing little glimpses of old Jordan Spieth. So if he can figure it out, then he can figure it out. So I'm hoping for that.
Yeah. Has some good
and the last one, what's that?
He has some good history here for sure.
That's true. Yeah. And then my last one is going to be an advantage of strokes gained off the tee is Michael Brennan, which I know sounds kind of an outside pick, but I think he's kind of a value pick as well, playing some generally good golf. But if he can get that advantage on distance and keep things pretty accurate, he'd be in a good spot too. So yeah, those are my picks.
Nice. We have a couple of common themes. I also like Jordan Spieth this week. I think his putter just needs to pop and he'll be right in contention, honestly. And he feels comfortable here. I think he goes aggressively at it. It's a weaker field. I'd like to see him take advantage of it. I'm going to go down the board for the next two picks. Blades Brown, who I've talked about a million times, comes to this. Realistically, I don't think he'll win it, but I'll probably put a top 5 bet on him. I think he does have the game to kind of show out here, and he's been playing really well. So again, another person that just needs to find the putter of the week. And then my last one rounds it out. Tom Kim, seemingly out of nowhere pick, but his game has been trending really great tee to green. And if he just can put together a positive putting strokes gain performance this week, he'll be right in that mix as well. So yeah, I'm going with Spieth, Blades, and Kim, and we'll see how it goes.
Perfect. I like it.
All right. We got actually a couple new releases this week. They weren't really PGA themed, but a lot of companies are kind of taking, and they always do, right as golf is about to peak around the US in May, June, and July. They're taking the opportunity to release some of their things. So we're gonna do a longer pro shop drop today. First one. So obviously, Zero Torque has been incredibly hot as a trend, but now TaylorMade has made it completely personalized and customizable. So TaylorMade launched their My Spider ZT, which is their kind of custom online platform where you can customize every single thing about that club, from the colors. And they don't have just stock normal colors. They have bright, vibrant pops, and that might not be for some, but I do think it's an interesting market to play to, and you can customize literally everything on that club. What are your just general thoughts about something like this?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I've always loved the Spider line of putters as well. The only Zero Torque putter that I've tried is like the Lab. I didn't like it. And so I want to be able to try something else because I still do like the idea of it and think if with some practice it could get better. Secondly, I think TaylorMade is chasing Lab a little bit because I think they have a similar kind of customization platform on their website, which is cool. Like a lot of different colors, and you can, do engravings, have different face plates and things like that. I like it because for me, putter is all about like feel and vision, and you want it to look good. You want to feel comfortable with it. And sometimes just like the putters you get at Roger Dunn or whatever aren't exactly what you want. So if like for me, I like just high contrast black and white, but I didn't really like the Versas of Odyssey and things like that. So if I could build my own here, that seems kind of cool.
Nice.
And I assume it's not really much more out of pocket if you were to, it might even just be the same price, but I like the idea of having a unique putter. I think that's cool.
Yeah. I compare it to back in the day, I think maybe 10 years ago, Nike transitioned to like the My Nike and kind of customizable footwear. You've seen a bunch of different footwear companies jump in the same thing. This is cool. As long as quality doesn't dip, I think this is fantastic. I'm a person that probably tries to look better than they play. And so I like something like this. I could see myself wanting just really cool, different kind of customized club. And yeah, it looks great. So an M8 might have won the PGA Championship this week, but there's an actual driver that is stealing all the headlines, and that is the GTS driver. And turns out the hype might actually be backed by numbers. So Titleist's new GTS drivers are finally being fitted all around the world since I think May 14th. And there's 3 different models, but here's where the numbers break down. So at this week's PGA Championship, of all the players who played, Titleist was by far the most played driver at 40% of the entire field. Do you know how many of those players were playing this specific GTS model?
Geez, so 40% of the entire field,
Yep.
I'd say at least half.
Yeah. So 32 were playing the GTS models, which is remarkable. I mean, not to forget that Titleist is absolutely crushing it with 40% of the field playing their drivers, but 32 of them are playing this new GTS driver, which is interesting because a lot of players tend to not move on to the newer technologies right away because they want to use something that's reliable. I mean, goodness sakes, an M8 just won the PGA Championship. So it's very interesting when there is such a consensus to shift towards a single driver. And this GTS has been making headlines throughout this year. And now that they're fitting them for the public, I can't even imagine the numbers Titleist is going to put up this year.
Yeah, and these drivers usually, I mean, I think they're going to be running what, $6 or $50?
Yeah,
Like
649 is kind of the par level that all the big manufacturers are coming out with.
that's a lot of money, but there's a reason why there's so many guys playing it.
Yeah, we'll see. If I'm cold shaking it tomorrow off the tee, who knows? I'll be getting a fitting next week.
There you go.
Alrighty. Last one. I almost thought I had to check the date, make sure it wasn't April Fool's, but black golf balls are here. And yes, they do cost $100 a dozen.
No.
So Bridgestone is releasing limited edition Black Tour BX and Tour B RX balls. More of probably a collectible, I hope, rather than an actual practical everyday ball, but pretty incredible. They are using this new tech that they call velocity surge or velo surge tech, and they are claiming that it's going to add 2.3 miles per hour ball speed, which is pretty significant
Yeah.
to come from a golf ball. So they're launching it in complete style, jet black style, and this is a black golf ball. Is there an amount of dollars I could pay you to play with a black golf ball?
I mean, it needs to be a very sunny day, and I need to keep it in the fairway.
Yes.
But so no, I don't think you could get me. Is it also claiming that it can add up to 9 yards?
Yeah, I think it's like right at that 8 to 9 yards.
That's insane.
That is an insane claim.
Wow. No, I don't think you're gonna see me using those. I would rather use like a black iron, like the ones
Sure.
we talked about a couple
Yes.
weeks ago.
Yes.
But this is a lot. I don't think I've ever seen somebody play with a black golf ball. I don't think we're gonna see it very often.
Yeah. At $8 a pop, they're going to be easy to lose.
Jeez. The $8 is a lot of money
Yeah.
for one golf ball.
For sure. Well, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, more of a novelty, less of practical, but who knows? You'll probably see some black golf balls out there.
Too good.
All right. So we've gotten to the part of the show where we do some games. This week, we are doing a draft. And obviously, with the CJ Byron Nelson, we're talking about other players that should have a tournament in the future. All players of the past today. That's the rules. No current active players, at least on the normal PGA Tour. Who, in your mind, Casey, should have a tournament?
So yeah, so we have Arnold Palmer, we have the Byron Nelson. Do we have a Jack Nicklaus one? We have like something at Jack's place. What tournament is that?
That's the
The Memorial, right? Yeah. So I would consider that.
Yeah.
Jack's place. Sure.
just curious.
But
You consider the Genesis Opus and Tigers?
no, I don't. That's
okay.
actually a great question because that leads into my first person is Ben Hogan. Why Ben Hogan does not have a golf tournament, I do not know. I would assume that if he were to have one, it'd be at one of his home courses in Texas, but I really think it should be the Genesis. You got Hogan's Alley, he's won there a few times, right? And I think he said it's one of his favorite courses. I think the Genesis Ben Hogan Invitational or the Ben Hogan Genesis Invitational would be really cool.
Gonna need to change
Tournament.
that Tiger trophy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Oh no, that's the Hero World. What am I talking about? We literally took a picture
yeah.
next to the Genesis. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Genesis is the tall, skinny
yes.
one, but Tiger does present it.
Yes, that's
So,
true.
A lot of people do consider that Tiger's tournament.
Yeah, I would
But
agree.
I
though.
consider Tiger's tournament the Hero World Challenge.
That is
that's
for sure what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to start us off with a kind of interesting one. I'm going to go Lee Trevino. All around interesting character, just a great advocate for golf. Kind of, was counterculture on the anti-country club kind of need, or kind of came up through public courses and things like that. And so I would fancy him to have a tournament, and I would put it as the Houston Open. So the current Houston Open, which is played at Memorial Park now, I would rename that to the Lee Trevino Invitational.
Nice. I love that. And what an entertaining tournament host he would be.
Oh yeah,
I think that would be perfect.
absolutely.
So my next one would be Sam Snead. Tied for most wins on the PGA Tour. How this guy doesn't have his own tournament, I do not know. I was reading up on it. He did used to have one. I forget exactly where it was, but I'm like, let's keep that. We got to bring that back. But I was also reading when he was 85, he shot a round of 78 at the old white course of the Greenbrier in Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. At 85, he shot a 78. Like, that's incredible.
Incredible.
So I don't really have like a name for the tournament, but the like Sam Seed Legacy Invitational, something like that. Something very simple, but I think he needs to be honored.
For sure. I love it. The problem is we have so many people like this to honor, and you can't honor them all. But you're totally right. Sam Snead should have one. I'm going to go with a golfer who a lot of professionals talk about today as one of their inspirations, but I'm going to go Raymond Floyd, Mr. Floyd, four-time major champion, Hall of Fame winner, 22 wins, I think, on the PGA Tour. So definitely a big enough name to have it. Now that it is back at Doral, I think that is a perfect tournament to co-name with Raymond Floyd. And so I would love to see that one. It's kind of a golf course that matches his style of game, and I think that would be a great honor. It also may help with the publicity of the tournament and shifting it away from some things. So just an idea there.
I like it. I like it. I'm not going to comment anymore on that. But okay. So my last one, which this one I'm surprised that we don't have really anything else attributed to him, but Bobby Jones, one of the most decorated golfers the past. And I also was reading that Eastlake was one of his home courses.
Yes.
So why are we not calling it the Bobby Jones Tour Championship? Just saying. I know that that's pretty, we don't need to put branding on it. The Tour Championship's the Tour Championship, but why not? Is there a way we can make it more interesting and make the Tour Championship really honor one of the greatest golfers of all time? I think that would be pretty cool.
I love it.
So, yeah.
I'm glad we pseudo honor him and with the Masters, just given his legacy and what he contributed to that course with Dr. Alistair McKenzie. But yeah, I do feel like he's so ingrained with like Georgia golf that something else probably needs to be more stable and named after Bobby Jones directly. So I totally agree with that. I love that pick. For the last one, I'm going to go with probably, he phenomenal golfer and rightfully so named a tournament after, but I just think the fit is too perfect. It's got to be Payne Stewart at Payne's Valley. They got to figure out something to do. I don't care if it's, a fall swing or whatever it is, but it has to happen. Well, I guess it can't be fall swing. The weather would be too bad, but it would maybe the late summer swing. Payne Stewart, Payne's Valley. It's a match made in heaven. Obviously, Payne's Valley built by Tiger and his foundation. So I just think it's perfect. It should exist. We should figure out how to fit it in.
I agree. That is a perfect combination there. And yeah, we got to do that. Somebody's got to do that.
Sounds good. Well, a lot of good options. Yeah, if you want to call us for suggestions, just go ahead and do it. Byron Roll App and we'll answer. So
perfect.
Cool. All right. Next one, we got a blind ranking.
Yes. I've been kind of going down nostalgia lane recently. I have my old putter that I got when I was 15 that I want to get restored. And it got me thinking about like all of the other old equipment that is out there in the golf world. So I thought we'd blind rank the most kind of ridiculous golf equipment, from clubs to training aids to things like that. So there's 8 of them. We're going to go through and you're going to rank them. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. So the first one, I feel like everybody knows this, is the Putt-A-Potty. It's basically a portable putting green for your bathroom. Looks ridiculous. Probably like most white elephant gifts. Yeah, that's the first one.
And we are ranking them as one is the most ridiculous.
Yes, correct.
Okay. I'm going to go, it's not crazy because I've honestly wanted one probably, but I need the man cave to do it. I'm going to go 6. I'll go 6.
I think that's good. I like that. All right, the next one. This club gets a lot of hate. I weirdly had one in my garage, but never really used it. The Chipper is the putter wedge
the
combo.
Super Texas wedge, kind of like the pseudo putter chip like wedge.
Yeah, it's like a blade putter, but it's got the loft of a wedge. Yeah, and it just looks ridiculous, and I can't really think of any time to use it.
I'll tell you, when I am on the fringe all the time, when you just don't want to hit into the fringe as much and you want that ball to pop up slightly. Obviously, people have been using woods and stuff like that for ages. I would love to have the Chipper if we didn't have a 14 club limit. So I'm going to put that at 7.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's reserved for like a 3 wood, and it's hard to give up another club for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. This one I remember when I was in high school was marketed to death and advertised to death. It's the Q-Link stress reducing calming necklace. I believe the tour player sponsorship was from Charles Howell III. And I just remember there's so many commercials. I've been wearing this like necklace that had a little kind of medallion, and it's supposed to like calm you down and reduce electromagnetic waves or some crazy stuff. And I just remember I'm like, oh, wow, like, why isn't everybody using this? And my dad was like, oh, because it's BS, but they sold them in like display cases at Roger Dunn, which I thought was so funny. So yeah, where would you put the Q-Link necklace.
Mark Cuban would be so proud of me right now. I'm gonna put that very at the top, number 1, most ridiculous
Wow.
thing. Yes. I have hated these things since, like, T-ball, because for some reason, before they got to the golf scene, they were all over, pitchers' mounds in Little League. Baseball really, really, for some reason, glommed onto these things, and yeah, they're just a bunch of BS. They're placebo effects, and sure, it works for some people. I mean, that's the whole point of a placebo effect is it does work mentally. But yeah, as far as the actual science behind it, no, sir.
Yeah, it just seems a step beyond snake oil to me.
It's very much there.
All right, cool. We got our number one. All right, well, this next one is the swing jacket. It's essentially a straight jacket that's supposed to help you from slicing the ball or coming over the top or something. It
Yes.
looks ridiculous. It kind of looks, if you're wearing this at the range, people might think you're wearing a bulletproof vest. Um,
There's a much more appropriate version which just locks the arms together kind of at the elbow and a little bit of resistance. It's just a small kind of basically 2 arm sleeves connected with some fabric. This thing, I've seen it, does look like a straight jacket. There's no need to be wearing this thing. So I'm gonna put that up high. I'll go 3.
all right, three, I like it. Okay, so this next one is called the Euro Club, URO. Essentially, it's a wedge or an iron that when you take it out of your bag, it's got a tube on the end of it and you can pee into it so you don't have to go pee behind a tree. The marketing photo is absolutely hilarious. It's just the bottom half of a guy standing with the club out with a towel over it. And it's just hilarious. Yeah.
Probably should have been number 1. I'll give it its respect and go number 2.
Okay.
Okay, I see what I did there unintentionally.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yes, it'll go yeah, we'll go with number 2.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty ridiculous. Just go behind the tree.
Just go
No
behind
one
the
can see
tree.
you.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you
Yeah.
peeing on yourself? Yeah, yeah.
All right, this next one, I think I remember my golf team having one that we like passed around, but it's the Momentous putter. It's essentially like a weighted, heavily weighted putter that's supposed to help you make a smoother stroke. To me, after I used it, I was all out of whack because it's like, when you lift up something heavy and then you pick
Sure.
up something light, it's like, whoa, that was way too easy. I felt like I was just like my putter became like a spaghetti noodle after using this thing. But I don't think you could use it in tournaments, but the idea was that you would practice with it and be able to like feel a smoother swing. But I thought it just completely screwed me up.
I'm conflicted here. I'll go that's pretty ridiculous. It just doesn't need to exist. I'll give it a 4. Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
Okay, 4. All right, so you have 5 and 8 left. We got 2 more. So this one, I actually saw a family member have this, and I can't name who that person was because I think they listened to this podcast. But it's the Polara golf ball. Essentially, it's a not USGA approved golf ball that has a core for some way makes it spin way less.
It's got a
And
gyrosphere in there, just
something like
constantly
that.
revolving so it just stays
Ye-
straight.
Yeah, like it stays something they claim 75% straighter. Uh, and it goes like probably 60% of the distance, but you're not like slicing it into the trees. It's crazy, but they sell them in like packs of 12. But if you were caught playing in a tournament with this, something you would be disqualified immediately.
Fascinating. So that I mean, which is funny because that is the USGA's way of acknowledging that it does have some effect. Clearly,
Yeah.
otherwise they wouldn't they wouldn't disallow it. Controversial, but I'll at least say it does what it says it does, and I'll give it an 8.
Okay. Wow, put that at the bottom. So Brian, Des, you use Polara golf balls
That's them
and
right
you're okay
here.
with it. Yeah.
Gonna plan on using them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Those are probably
so our-
definitely $8 a ball.
Yes, they're not cheap either.
Yeah.
All right, so the last one that comes in at number 5 is the Cleveland Stubby Putter. There was another version of this, but this was the only one that I could find. It's basically just a square putter head, just completely square, like the width of a golf ball. The idea is that
I've seen
you can
these.
putt with it,
Yes.
but it's supposed to be like you make better contact because you're focusing on hitting it in the square. So when you go back to your larger putter, you can focus more easily. Similar to the Momentous, thought it screwed me up because I was like hitting it way softer and trying way too hard to control it. So I thought it was kind of BS.
Let's go with 5 on that. I think that's a decent spot. All right.
I think those are great picks. Having Q-Link at number 1, I like.
I
For
think it's
how
a
much
more
money?
personal aggression than anything. I think probably the Euro Club should have probably been number 1, but it's a good 2.
Yeah. But this is just a short list of some of the crazy stuff that's out there. So we'll have to do this again and see what else we can find out
Yeah, I'll
there.
create a list for you. This is, all the greatest infomercials of the golf world. This is, Golf Channel at 2 AM
Yeah,
Central. Yeah,
exactly.
perfect. All right, well, we have one more topic for tonight, and it's less of a game, more than a question. But recently, we've had a couple videos go out about, would you keep playing if would you play golf full time if you got paid $100 a par or $1,000 a birdie? I just want to cut to the chase today. How much realistically would it take for you to quit your job and play golf full time if they paid you?
Okay, I have a couple questions. Is this my salary, like an annual salary?
This is an annual
Um,
salary. You are not on the tour. You are just playing because some rich billionaire wants to see you play.
Gotcha. And can I progress at all, or do I stay at this salary? How does that work?
You know what? Let's say, for the argument's sake, you progress at just a normal, steady career rate.
Okay. Feel like I'm going to be undershooting here, but I would do it for like 60K.
Okay. Okay. Now, have you
I
checked
think
with your
that
wife
leaves,
on this?
I know, I think that leaves a lot of room for improvement, and I would be a hard worker, so I would get promoted pretty quickly.
That's good. I think part of the funny theatrics of it is you're just going to play, and it's hard to tell your wife and to tell your child, "Hey, sorry, I got to go out and play, make some money today."
Yeah.
But a very
And the
moderate salary. Yes, that's
right. I don't think it would be the best time now that I just had a kid to like take a pay cut, but I don't love
think
my
about the
job.
positives. Think about the wonderful positives. I mean, maybe it's around a day. You'd be home by noon, spend more time with the family, more time with the kids. Obviously, you'd be a little drained physically,
Mhm.
but you'd be in a great mental state. You just played golf. You're
Yep.
happier, clearly less stressed probably than your normal day job. There's a lot of great things that
I get exercise.
yes. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to be in
I
shape.
exactly. So I don't know. That's my number. Am I totally out of like what would you do?
Well, I do have one more kid than you, so I got to think of that. But
That's true.
no, I think I could convince my wife realistically. I was like, "Hey, all the reasons I just said, we're gonna step it. We're gonna we're gonna focus in on $80,000 a year. How can we make this work for our family going forward?" I think I could
Okay.
have that conversation. So I'm gonna go $80,000.
Okay. Those aren't wildly different.
No,
Yeah.
no, I think most people out there would say something similar. I think some people would be ecstatic to get paid 60, $80,000 a year.
Oh yeah.
Curious about maybe the golfers' higher earnings, probably on average than any other hobby or career adjacent sport. So curious what other people would say. I think 60 and 80 would probably be a big step down for some golfers. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see where it lands. But yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds
I
good.
also would be curious, like, can you get fired?
Yes, if you
You know?
don't play, Casey, if you don't play,
Yeah.
that's the one condition. This rich billionaire says, if you don't play, you're fired. Back on the
And then
streets.
easy enough for me, but I think you could sweeten the deal by saying if you don't, shoot or maintain this handicap, like you get a pay cut.
Yes. Yes. And if you exceed it, maybe you get a pay raise.
Who knows?
Endless cycle of disappointment because eventually you're not gonna keep pace with your improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Well, cool. That is gonna do it for us this week. Thank you for joining and see you next time.